Sport has always been a part of my life. My whole family growing up has played sports, but it's been that outlet, whether, things are going well in life or having a little bit more of a difficult time, that sports have always been around and something that I can turn to. And honestly, there was times I was a pretty good athlete growing up, but just some of the maturity of it didn't take it seriously and really push myself. So I'm excited to have that opportunity to do it right this time around. And not many people get the chance to compete as an adult, and then to compete at this level is such an honor and really exciting. And then on the other side of it, just to help with my physical health, my mental health, it's my social support, it's my family around here. My whole world is just surrounded by sports. So it's honestly everything to me.
Sarah, there's a little bit of perhaps fresh perspective that you could add on this too. You're assistant professor in occupational therapy. You see these kinds of interactions and how people deal with disability on so many different levels. What perspective do you think you could add to that with what does sports do for people who are just taking on a new way of life because of a circumstance?
Yeah. Stop me if I end up talking about this too long, because I could talk about it for hours. It's actually what my research was when I was in undergrad with Dr. Carrie Morgan, was exercise for people with disabilities and the benefits of that. And we really targeted on just kind of your average person with a disability or a new person with a disability, and what sports or exercise can do to help benefit them, like I said, physically, mentally, socially. I can't say enough about it. I know for me specifically, I didn't really want to go to any type of peer support groups or anything like that. But going to rugby was my peer support, and getting to be around people just in their everyday life adds, and you learn tips and tricks and the motivation to figure out how to be a person with a disability. It kind of gets you outside of your traditional therapy session where we're working like to get back to walking or build up some of the strength. I can have fun and enjoy it and still gain some of those same physical benefits from it, while also having the social and the mental and fun and motivation and outlets and all sorts of different things. So I think for the people with disabilities, it's just that much more important. It's important for everybody, able bodies and people with disability. But we saw with the pandemic specifically, where people didn't have as much access to physical activity and exercise, there was a lot of people that had other health conditions pop up because they weren't out there being active. So it's just that much more important for us to be moving our bodies and getting stronger.
No doubt. You made me think of how many times over, my 40 plus years in a wheelchair, how people always like to say, when did you know you were adjusted? And, which is like such a cliche terminology, but, you answered that. It's in many ways, it's just about how you move on and what you do next.
Yeah. And just learning, like, I don't need to be walking to live successfully. I don't need to be an able-bodied to still go out and have adventures and fun and work and have a family and date or whatever. I can still find it's a different way of doing it, but it exists. And being surrounded by people that have already figured that out is probably the most beneficial thing for most people to see that.